Well, hey everybody, I hope y'all doing good. This is your friendly neighborhood cornbread, in case you haven't noticed. I thought I'd come take you on a little adventure with me. I am headed up to a spot that I used to hunt at a lot, and yeah, y'all might be remember me talking about the little experience. The yellow line I had up here, and we'll just say I think I got to see a real live Ewok, maybe.
You knew was true, going on. Got you on my mind.
Don't really know what it was. Thought it was a bear. It walked away, went over here and come over here. The whole time kept like looking down at me, and I could only see bits and pieces of it through the tree limbs, and it was early October and leaves were turning and starting to fall, and yeah, but the whole time, every time I saw it, it was on its back legs moving through the woods. Never seen a bear do that before. There's other things. I've only done one video about that, and yeah, I don't want to be known as the YouTube kook or the guy who does videos to get, clickbait watches and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of cooled off on it. But I figured I'd come up here, I'll show you guys where it is. It's beautiful country in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I live in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and this is like 4 miles north of me, maybe 5 miles. And
well, he's an on-time God.
Pretty cool.
Yes, he is.
Y'all wanted to get out of the house a while, checking the wife, she's feeling pretty good. My daughter's there with her, told me I need anything. Text me, I got my Garmin inReach, so if I'm in the woods where I don't have a signal, see me an inReach message. But I'm on for some God. Yes, some prevention. We're going to go see if we can get in ready. I need a little bit of a break from the away from the house for a while. The old pumpkin street. And, yeah, I figured I'd take you guys on the ride. See what we can get.
They had water all around them, and Pharaoh on their backs. But from out of nowhere, my God stepped in. He built the highway just like that. Oh, yes, he's an on-time. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Job said he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. And he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Oh, you can ask the 5,000 hungry souls he fed on the banks of the river with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. What a miracle he performed on that multitude. Oh, but what he did, way back then, he'll do the same for me and you. Oh, yes, he's an on-time God. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, church, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. He may not come when you want him. He'll be there right on time. He's an on-time God.
where I live, I am utterly surrounded by lakes on all three sides. This is Lake Kiwi. There's another bridge up the lake, and after you cross under that bridge, you're in Lake Jocassee. Gonna swing into the Kiwi Lake shop here and grab something to drink. This place is wrapped up. 4th of July coming up. All these lakes. This place gets crazy. Done at the lake shop. Had to get a Hunt's Brothers pizza. I don't know if you have Hunt's Brothers pizza where you live, but this place right here, they throw so much stuff on there, it's pathetic. Get extra cheese, extra everything, same price. So I got a slice of that and a purple masa drink, and then we're gonna continue our trip. Yeah, this place becomes quite crazy with traffic and people going every which way. Campers, pontoons, you name it. During the month of July, oh my Lord, it's almost unbearable. Now you want to talk about a steep climb. It's coming up right there. More lake action, folks. Yep. Yeah. Big old high line right here, high line right away goes down. Look at all the daggone wires and cables. But hit, you might be able to see it from here. Hang on, I don't think you can quite see it yet. Nope. This is 3 spans wide. Yep. And right over there is 3 huge nuclear reactors. Yep. And you might know it, I drove all the way up here and the gate's closed and locked. Now normally that might not deter me, but where I have to go up here is probably between 4.5 and 5 miles up this gravel road that turns to dirt and mud, and it's 97 degrees outside. Change your plans. All right, this little area right here is special. It gets a little early season pressure during deer season. I'll go ahead and show you the name of it, Shooting Tree Ridge, and it's closed because of high fire danger. That gate's usually never closed unless they're doing work back in there at night. But this is an awesome little area because it's only 571 acres, and it's surrounded by tens of thousands of acres of private property. It's just forest. And early in the season, you'll have 3 or 4 vehicles pulling here to hunt, and they all hunt close to the gravel road because this gravel road goes for miles and miles. Then after that, you never see a soul. So if you get away from your truck in a certain little place, there's some good hunting up here. But let me show y'all something. You see that sign? Now, I grew up around here, and I've been in here thousands of times probably, and I've read this sign 200 times. I thought y'all might find it interesting. This is the Isatoe Valley, Human Settlements Valley, Human Settlementness Valley, dates to the Clovis people, present as early as 13,000 years ago. And you can read the rest of it. Pretty interesting stuff. Just pause your video if you're a slow reader like me. Now, what I was gonna show y'all first, if you guys saw my first video on the subject, I told you that a few years back I was hunting on a high line, and it started getting dusky in the evening time, late afternoon, dusky dark, and like it almost literally sounded like it was on the tree with me. I mean, it was so loud I could feel it. I heard the I can't make the sound. I just make a fool out of myself trying to. But and yeah, I almost let go of some unholy water that day. I froze. I was holding a rifle, but that was the farthest thing from my mind. And Mr. Tough people out there that might be watching this, you had a gun, what was you scared of? But whatever it was right behind me. I could hear footsteps and, twigs, movement in the woods. It was really, really thick back in behind me. And I was turned, like the power line's going this way, and I was on the edge about 5 or 10 yards in where I was hid by some trees. And I set up for a right-handed shot across that power line. And yeah, everything behind me was going downhill into a creek bottom, real thick. And I could hear stuff moving around down in there. And I'll just be honest, I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to see what it was. Well, I was hunting in a climbing stand, and about that time I started, I'm going to have to leave. I do not want to walk out of here in the dark. And I got to kind of planning it and thinking about it, and I said, I get to the bottom of this tree, get my rifle, and the stand can stay here till tomorrow, the next day. If somebody finds it and steals it, so be it. I got down to the bottom. I got my tree stand to get all strapped together and everything, and I've been doing this the whole time. Flashlight in one hand, headlight on the head, Got my stuff, got out of there. I swear, it's like something was walking in the woods over beside me the whole way back to my truck, and it was a fur piece of the truck. But just as I was getting to the bottom of the tree, across that big power line, I heard, it was like a different pitch. It wasn't as deep as what I heard behind me, but just real loud. And I almost climbed back up the tree and spent the night. Anyway, now I'm thinking something's on the other side. And I was thinking whatever this was went over there. But then I could hear something kind of moving and walking with me, so I don't know. I made it back to the truck. I'm still here, I'm still alive. Everything worked out okay. I'll show you where it happened. I just got to show you from a little further away because this little road that's blocked off went around, and I was going to show you the tree I was on, but I can still show you. Give you an idea of what we're looking at. That goes forever that way. And then you have this. This is the high line I was hunting on. If you notice down in here in the bottom, this is it's a depot for emergency stuff and horseback and all that kind of stuff that happens up here in the mountains. And where I was at, it is right there. Anyway, I'm blurring it out. I was climbed up on that side, and this is where the thing went down. All this down here in the bottom wasn't there then. But you can see how secluded this is. And I mean, there's nothing for miles here. And that's Buzzard Roost Mountain. Beautiful out here, but it is really, really secluded. Yeah, all that is U.S. forestry stuff. They fly helicopters in and out. Yeah, do you see all these power lines? During Hurricane Helene, half of these were laying on the ground. It's pretty cool that here in the southeast, we still have such wild lands and everything. Yeah, there is a gigantic, humongous power line system cutting right through the middle of it, but other than that, I think it's good. And now we're going to go to where the rest of the story occurs. This is the actual Ewok sighting. Okay, I just parked here and instantly got a cold chill. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right. Yep. Let me tell you something, folks. She's hot out here today. And you got to watch this stuff. Because the little slippery, slimy snakes like to crawl out here in the sun. Yeah. Next thing you know, you might be in trouble. Need to make me another walking stick. But here we go. Yeah, I'm going to be kind of taking it a little bit easy today. Don't want to get too overheated. Yesterday, I got balled up trying to get a bunch of stuff done outside, and it was like 96 degrees. And I was soaked. I mean soaked. My boots were even full of soaked sweat. And I said, you know, I'm going to go in the house to cool off a little while. And I walked in there and instantly just became so tired. I had to lay down for a little while. Well, 14 hours later, I woke up. So I don't know if it was heat exhaustion or what the case was. And like this road, most of these roads are cut along a valley. You can hear the traffic over yonder on Highway 11. And most of these roads are cut across a ridge, I should say. Because if you look down through yonder, yep, it's quite a ways to the bottom. Let's continue. Yeah, loaded me up some water with electrolyte mix. I also have my emergency survival bag with a life straw. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the ground, paying attention where I'm going. With a life straw, a small BPA bottle, and some other odds and ends. Survival stuff, you know. To look down in these valleys from time to time, you never know what you'll see. But my main attention is on the roads, on the sides and in the middle. I stepped on a copperhead once up in here and didn't get bit. That's funky. Road y'all could hear the traffic on parallels the road I'm walking for like 300 yards. Probably 80 yards from the blacktop. Here we're turning down into the woods. I'll show you something. Right here you have a fork in the road. If you take the left fork, there is some good honey hole hunting up in there. But it is darn near straight up. That goes up Buzzard's Roost Mountain. Where we're gonna go is to the left. And this is where the quote unquote incident at hand took place. Again, I don't mean to misrepresent this or create some kind of a video to get people to click on it for likes and subscribes and watch time. And I'm just explaining what I was talking about in a former video. But even more to the point, I'm getting out of the house a little while. And a lot of stuff been going on. And I just need to get away for a little bit. The wife's doing good today. Daughter's there with her. And so I let them both know where I was going. Shot them an Onyx pin. Yada, yada, yada. But right here, let me show you something. This is the first little food plot. The DNR will come in here toward the end of July, 1st of August, and they'll bush hog these things. And they'll overseed them with ryegrass and clover and such. And yeah, there's several of these along the way as we walk down this road. And especially early season, man, there's people everywhere on these little food plots. So I try to get in here real early, like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours before daylight. Try to get in here before these people do, because I don't want to ruin their hunt by coming in at the crack of daylight in here. And don't want to get shot. You know, that's always a good thing. This is going to be a little bit of a walk, and I'm going to be stopping and taking a break here and there because it is hot right here in the shade. It's not horrible. But pretty thick up in here. Everything you see behind what you see right there is all like watershed, marshy areas down in the valleys. And it's thicker than hair on a dog's back in there. La-dee-dee, la-dee-da. Check back in a minute. I've been walking about 45 minutes. We're probably close to halfway to where we're going. Had to do some hydration break. Remember, folks, always have a means of staying hydrated. And in case of emergency, being able to replenish that hydration, whether it be a Sawyer filter, life straw, something. Always have a couple of energy bars, protection, some blades. If it's legal where you're at, I strongly suggest a pew-pew. I've reached another little area I wanted to show y'all. You may have, if you've seen in my videos, where I talk about bear defense and everything. This hill right here, there was a black bear. Some people say, was it a big one? Was it a little one? Was it this? Was it that? I don't know. It was a bear. Came about, and this was in the winter, so there's no green out here. Came down, well, actually it's right through here. Came down through here and stopped. About where you see, that's 3 saplings. The sapling on the left stopped about right there on the left. It was just bluffing, but it was enough to almost make me poop my pants. Like I say, you never know what's going to happen. Most of the time, 99.999.5% of the time, nothing happens. But there's always that one time. And if you're not prepared, it can be a bad day. Now we're on the uphill for a while. Yep. This is a lot easier when it's 30 degrees or 25 degrees an hour before dark daylight. Yep. All right, coming up on another one of those areas. You have a road turning to the left here. And all that is a fire break. It goes up the side of the mountain up to yonder. No conveyance is allowed in here. So they just use that, the Forest Service does. They keep it trimmed back, and it's just, you know what it says, it's just a fire break. Yep. And when you hunt in public land, you got to get back in here. Like this road I'm on, there are several food plots down it, and people try to get here fairly early to get them a spot around the food plot, I guess you'd say. But when you got people all the way around the food plot, it doesn't matter where the deer, another food plot coming up, it don't matter which way the deer come, they're always downwind of you. So you're not going to see a big buck. You might, first week or two of the season, it's going to be highly unusual if you do. But yeah, I'm explaining all this. That's why I come back in here so early. And when I come down this road, especially if it's early season, when it's still warm out, leaves on the trees, them old sneaky snakes are still out and about. So I carry a little flashlight with me. Well, I don't want people hunting these food plots to see where my light's going. That's the first deer track I've seen since I started this walk. Golly. So what had happened here is we're almost to where it went down. Is I walk past this food plot, and most of the time when you walk up on one and there's somebody in one of these trees up in a climbing stand, they'll flash their flashlight at you right quick to let you know somebody's here. Well, I didn't see any lights on this food plot. And again, they'll bush hog this and make it all pretty before the season starts. So I kept going. I got down here, and there's a little stone bridge way back there was a settlement in here, and there was a stone bridge going across the creek. And I got to that stone bridge, and I saw a flashlight up ahead. Well, there's one more confounded food plot. I have to walk past this food plot, and that's where I get off this trail and go into the woods. Well, I saw a flashlight back there. I'm like, golly, this guy's dedicated. He's in here this early at the farthest food plot. I guess this is roughly about 1.5 miles deep. And he's set up. And I ain't about to go up there where he's got a view of me walking down the road and turning up in the woods where I'm hunting. Because then everybody's gonna know where you're hunting. So I crossed this little bridge we're gonna come to here in a second. And I walked up in the edge of the woods a little piece. And, oh, I smell a heavy, musty smell. And the wind is almost dead still. I'm gonna keep going, keep talking. If it's a bear, he, she, it, whatever, should go vamoose. But as you see, as we go down this hill, look down through the woods, how daggum thick beyond those trees it gets. So I walk down here to this bridge, cross the bridge. This phone might go bouncing off the ground here in a minute if something comes out. I got my poo-poo, but I cross the bridge and I veer up at like a 45-degree angle, hit the edge of the woods, find a place to sit down where I can see back across that bridge and the marshy area down here. Because the marshy area is infested with hog sign. There are hogs in here like you wouldn't believe. And that might be what I'm smelling right now. The closer I get to this bottom, the stronger it gets. Keep panning around, like maybe I'll see some hogs take off running or something. But I hope it's hogs. But God knows I don't want to spend the rest of the day up here talking to game warden about why I shot something. But anyway, I cross the bridge, go up on a little hill, veer off at a high spot where I can look back across the bridge toward this little ridge. And I'm thinking, you know, the day's shot. I always sit here and maybe I can see a hog. Maybe I can kill a hog. And that's when I saw what I saw. And it was on the opposite side of the bridge from where I was, on this little ridge. And it come out and it went up on a tree with the front legs. And I thought, oh man, there's a bear. Well, at that point, I had hid my tree stand back in the edge of the woods behind me. And I was sitting on my little tree seat. And here's the little, underneath this wood is a big stone structure. But, man, it's growed up in here so much. Anyway, I crossed here and I went right back up in there and sat down. I'll show you where I was. But, and I'm looking back toward the bridge and across the marsh, and I was just like, man, I done come up in here now. I'm not gonna waste a hunt. I'm at least gonna stick around a little while, see what I see. And it is so crazy growing up in here, it ain't believable. But I just went right back up in there, that tree, and put my tree seat on it and was looking back this way. And all that green's right there right now, but on the right side of that road, where that little ridge is where that bear came out and put his front paws up on a tree. And I don't know if the wind swirled or what, but it just suddenly stopped, turned its head straight at me, and started staring at me. And all I could see was something black with a brown ball in front of the head. I really couldn't define what it was. So once it looked at me, I kind of got a little nervous. I'm like, man, if that thing charges me, I've got like maybe 60 yards here, but I got a lever action rifle. I sure take care of him. But I got my rifle in my hand and got ready. And he went, and again, it's hard to tell because all these leaves on the trees. He went up the hill, back that way, back and on. And I kept seeing him pop through little holes. You know how you can like look through there, the little holes of light you can see through there? I kept seeing him pop through little holes, and it would stop. And every time I could see the brown ball in front of his face, what it looked like, his face, and it was always pointed toward me. So I knew at that point what it was. And when it went right up there, and there's a little opening, it never crossed the road, but it went through that little opening. It was walking on its back legs. And all this seemed like it was an hour. It was probably 30 seconds or more, or less. Don't know what it was. After you go around this next little bend, there's another one of those food plots up there. And up yonder is where I turned to go back in the woods, and where I had my setup at and everything was probably 150, 200 yards deep in the woods. I wasn't gonna go up there and let somebody watch my flashlight all the way to where I was going. That's why I stopped right here. I'll tell you another little something. I hope she's not watching this, but I brought corn muffin up here, and we were doing some hiking. We come down, we went under this bridge with our Sawyer filter to get some water and everything. And I brought her up here. We were gonna have like a little peanut butter and jelly picnic, and we was gonna, set us up a little nice spot in a little clean area like behind me here or something. And I was gonna tell her this is where that happened. But I didn't have the heart to tell her. I didn't want to have to run behind her on the way back to the truck. As I walked back this way, maybe, you can kind of tell right here, we've come to a spot. Let me turn it around. All right, you see the road and the hole right there. That is about where this thing crossed in. But keep in mind, there are no green leaves. The only thing left is about 1/4 this amount of leaves, and they're all browning orange early mid-October. So that kind of, I tried to get over here in the edge. I'm not going to get all the way off in this jump because I don't want to get snake bit. But I'm kind of in line right here with that tree, so you kind of see what the vantage point was. That's the whole story. No, I didn't get hair samples, and I didn't ask it for its identification, and I just, quite frankly, don't know what it was. I have seen bears, oh, here we, the closer I get you. Now you can see a little better. Sun shining there, still washing it out, but you can see up the ridge, and that's what I could see. This, of course, is not real. I've been messing with an AI generator to try to kind of give you guys a perspective of sort of what it looked like, but it wasn't nearly this wide open or clear. Hard to explain. And all this took place back in here. Here's the bridge, and it came all the way over this way. I thought it was going to come across the road, but that's where it was. I've watched a lot of videos and all this Expedition Bigfoot and Moneymaker, all these guys, and I'm not calling them as doing this, but I think there's a lot of faking and hoaxing going on that really hurt the cause of people if they've really found something like a footprint or whatnot. Do I believe Bigfoot and Sasquatch? Well, like I said, I am on the fence with one leg firmly planted on the side of skepticism, and the other foot is off the ground, about to step over the fence to full skepticism. But then I think about things I've had happen. I think about, even biblical accounts where it says, angels had babies with human women and they were called Nephilim, and they were and still are. I don't know what that means. All I know is they were described as giants. And it starts me, and the reason I think about that is, who am I to limit the power of God and his intentions of what he does? Hold on, this is steep. This might take a few minutes, y'all. Then there are accounts, keep checking my back trail. There are accounts of hair samples and flesh samples found inside the United States in the deep woods. And the scientific community describes them as being primate in a non-human, yada yada, unidentified. I don't know. I'm like y'all. I think I'm gonna call this one Gutbuster Ridge. This thing, y'all, goes forever. I'll be back when I can breathe now. Whew. I love the idea of Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, existing. And I do know something exists that is hairy, has brown around here, will ease away, not run, just kind of covertly and stealthily move through the woods and keep looking back at you on its back legs. And I'll go ahead and tell you, to me, minus a bandana, it kind of looked like an Ewok. Okay. I hear the brains churning now with jokes, but it is what it is. And I smell that daggone ungodly stink again. All this, if a bear or Bigfoot runs up behind me and starts eating on me, you don't call the law for me. I'm kind of starting to think that the down there and back again might not have been the best idea in the world. There is so much of even the United States that's unspoiled, wild land. I mean, green edible plants, all kinds of stuff growing. If it can sustain a mammal the size of a bear, I think it can do something else. Yep. And there's plenty of wild lands here in Appalachia and here in southern Appalachia to sustain a lot of stuff. The sun just went behind some clouds. Thank you, Jesus. What do y'all think? I don't know. I just wanted to, I have a recording of some sounds, kind of like the ones that I heard on the power line. I think I'm going to send them on with a GPS pin to somebody who does this, because this is not my gig. See if they want to use it. If not, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. One thing I do know is, since my wife Yvonne's cancer diagnosis, I want to thank all y'all for your prayers, donations, support. I want to thank Brother Dwayne, Brother Mickey, and Brother Brian for putting on this auction. We saw the first one, and man, talk about feeling small, but very blessed, very humble, and very appreciative. And for everybody who has gotten involved with this from top to bottom, as I keep saying in comments, prayers are golden. If you can't afford to donate to a GoFundMe or buy a knife from an auction, fear not, your prayers are greatly appreciated. I'm really glad I did this, got out. I love being out here. Not necessarily when it's 97 degrees, but getting a break. We'll go home now and check on my darling, and she's probably gonna make me take a shower before I can get a hug and some sugar, you know, but I don't blame her. I wouldn't be surprised if that stinky smell I smelled back there about been me. I am sweating. Back to that Y at the beginning, and that right there, you've heard of the movie Heartbreak Ridge. That's Heart Attack Ridge. We won't be doing that today. Instead, we're back on this long 2-track road, but it's flat. Hallelujah, thank you, Lord. And way down yonder, you see my vehicle. Yippee! Where you know me, I don't come out like this unprepared. I do have a carry. As soon as I get down here to the vehicle, I'm gonna show y'all what I got. All my squatch-proof gear. You know, hear the traffic on the side of the highway. For our fixed blade today, I brought the Jonah knife. Yep, this one is by Brother Justin at Spirited Outdoors. Y'all need to check him out. Ask him about his knife. He's got one coming to the knife auction, Brother Dwayne's knife auction, that is bomb. But yeah, Brother Justin, you good man. Appreciate it, man. Then I have the old Pew Pew. Today I brought the Glock 19 because, whew, it has hard cast ammo in it. Because my 40 Springfield with an extra magazine and everything is heavy. I got it set up for a chest rig, and next time I come up here, that's what I'll be carrying. And yep, oh, I also have Case Longhouse. This was a gift to me from Brother Brian at Brian's Knives. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry I had to take it out of the box and carry it. I've been carrying it about 2 weeks now. Love it, absolutely love it. Thank you guys for watching. Just chime in down the bottom. I wanted to just go for a walk, talk to you guys. Figured we'd cover this. Let me know what you think in the comments. And so look at the sweat on the bottom of my glass. Oh, it fell off. But until next time, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And peace and God bless.